testing. What's going on, team? What's good, Albert? Want to make sure I hear myself. Hello, hello. All right, perfect. What's going on, guys? Any questions? Let me know. Any pairs you guys are wanting to look at or wanting to take a trade on, let me know. Once again, just like every other session, just like every other class, overnight, I woke up last night like 3, 4 a.m. I saw some pairs already move. So, for example, you see I already turned off AUD USD. I turned off EU. I turned off GJ, GU. I turned off USD CAD, USD ZAR. So there's been already a few pairs that have moved and already did, STP and ADR for the day. But since it's the first trade or the first session of the year, I'm gonna go through it one by one, right? I'm gonna show you guys how it is that I look at my charts, how strict I am with my charts as well, right? If again, same example and same thing I was explaining yesterday in the live session, right? The reason I'm not married to one single pair is because I follow my rules very strictly. If this certain pair isn't giving me the move or isn't moving the way that I want it to move, I'm not taking a trade, right? And if you're married to one single pair, it's going to be very difficult to look for a trade, right? Sometimes some people look at 20 pairs, and sometimes you might not even have a trade for those 20 pairs, and that's totally okay, right? You, as a trader, you have to be okay with letting pairs set up, right? If something doesn't look good, don't force a trade, because that's how you will take losses, right? So, for example, we'll start off with AU. First of all, we already see that AU did more than ADR, is still moving counter away from the trend. Again, we understand that AU is in a downtrend, in a market maker's pattern downtrend. However, we still know that we're in the zone of consolidation. Same thing we were explaining yesterday. In order for us to continue to see price go down, we need to see this break of structure. Again, we already have 3 months of drop. I'm not expecting this month to continue going short. I'm expecting price to push up, right? So again, at this moment for AU, the fact that price already gave us ADR, again, ADR for the day is 46 pips. We already did 46 pips. We did a lot more than 46 pips. We already did 83. That's not something that happens on AU. That's not something that's normal. So again, AU is already done. I'm not even going to take a look at it, right? EA, let's calculate our STP for the day. So we know that ADR is 103 pips. STP is 69. Alright, so first and foremost, did we do STP for the day? How many pips did we do already? We did 73, so perfect. EA is already done. Nothing to look at. Price is still moving sideways. EU, very similar to AU, right? ADR for the day is already hit for 75 pips. We already did, in total, 136 pips. So EU is already done. We have nothing to trade on EU. ECAD, same thing, right? ECAD already hit ADR. It did 100% of ADR, right? ADR is 102 pips for the day, and we did 102 pips for the day. That's it. ECAD is already done. No more trades left. Again, this is still a pair that's in an overall uptrend in the overall market maker's pattern, but we're still making lower lows and lower highs, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low. So I'm not going to be looking to take a trade on ECAD until once we start seeing higher highs and higher lows, right? We still have this gap at the bottom of the market. So once again, just got to be patient, guys. There's nothing more, nothing less. You have a system developed for yourself, right? You have a trading system. You follow your trading system, you'll win, right? If you know that, let's say today you look for a trade and you find a trade and it's 100% following your rules, right? Are you going to be nervous to get into the trade and only trade 50 cents, $1 lot size? No. You're going to trade a $2 or $5 lot, right? You're going to try to put as much money in that trade as possible because you know that trade is going to win 100% of the time, right? But if you're taking losses every single day and you're on a 4 losing streak and you're already 3% negative on your funded account, right? Or even on your live account, right? You're going to be nervous. You're going to be taking 5 cents, 10 cents trying to build the account back up. But if you take high quality trades every single day, every single time there's an opportunity to take that trade, you're going to be so much more successful and it's going to be so much easier, right? So GA, let's do the calculation. 151 pips is ADR. STP is 101 pips. Perfect. Did we do 101 pips? I don't think so. We're just been moving sideways since the end of Thursday going into this week. right? The ending of Thursday, price going into Friday, then price going into the new week, we've just been moving sideways, right? So STP is 101. We already did 67 pips. So let's look at the daily time frame. Where are we? Why is price moving so slow, right? So GA, we know we're in V2. We had the break of structure, perfect, right? And now we're looking for a pullback. Cool. That pullback, again, like we explained yesterday, the pullback could just be a simple pullback back into where the break of structure happened. The pullback could be, you know, in this little zone of consolidation. This would be a type 3 pattern, right? An extended type 3 pattern where price comes down 50% of the zone of consolidation and then pushes up, right? We could either be looking for another pullback, just steeper pullback back to the middle of the entire zone of consolidation, right? So there's a few positions and there's a few spots where GA could go ahead and give us a pullback, right? Our job as traders is to be able to see that, right? Because once you're able to see that and price goes into your points of interest, then you start looking for those entries. And again, those entry points are going to be once price goes into the point of interest, you're looking for higher highs and higher lows. And right now for GA, are we making higher highs and higher lows? No, right? We're not. We made a little lower low, right? We had higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Right, again, higher high, higher low, right? Higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Right, I hope that makes sense. Right, so the fact that price is still moving lower low and lower high, the fact that price is just moving sideways today, it's been moving sideways for the last 2.5 days. What am I looking for? It's very simple, guys. Very simple. We're either going to be, this is already a zone of consolidation, right? So I'm either going to be looking for price to break above here before I start looking to take a trade, right? Or we're going to be looking for price to break below the lows over here. Right? Either these lows or those highs. And that's it. It's going to be that simple, right? And at this point, you know, if we already push down here, it's not going to have enough space for us to take a trade, or to the top side, which is what I'm looking for eventually. Let's do we have any engulfing candles? That's the second thing I want to look for now. Nothing in the daily, nothing in the 4, nothing in the 1 hour, right? Nothing in the 30-minute. No clean engulfing candles in the 30-minute. Right, so right now, I'm just gonna take a step back, right? GA, we're just going to. This is again also. You want to start looking at pairs on the time zone that you're looking at, right? The session, the trading session you're looking at. GA, GBP, AUD, right? Is that a NYC session pair or is that a Asia session, London session pair? Right, so already understanding that this is a Asia session, London session pair, and seeing how every single time this pair rarely moves during NYC. Do we get moves during NYC? Yeah, of course. Whenever there's continuations, right? We started at 3 in the morning during the end of Asia going into London, and we went down all the way up until the end of New York session. And that's okay, that happens. We could get those moves. But if you notice that entries and everything else and when it starts moving really always happens during Asia session or London session. With that being said, you know, is this a pair GA that I'm looking to take a trade at right now during NYC? Absolutely not. Right, so GA, I'm gonna turn it off. We'll look at it again tonight during the isolation session. Right, GCAD, pretty similar. Right, this is a pair that we have a gap at the bottom of the market. We're pretty much in the highest point in the market right now in the market makers pattern. We're in level 2. We broke above our V1, our first zone consolidation, and we haven't gotten really a pullback with the retest. And that's what I'm looking for, right? We also know, again, we have a gap at the bottom of the market. Right now in the 4-hour time frame, we're still trading between the previous higher high, higher low, higher high. Again, everything is color coordinated on the stream. The blue boxes, the 4-hour highs and 4-hour lows. The gray box is the daily high, the daily low, and the red boxes are the 30-minute highs and 30-minute lows, right? And in the 30-minute time frame, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price went down, right? Little consolidation, and it went down and gave us a lower low, change of character, right? So the fact that we have a lower low, we're no longer making higher highs and higher lows. Internal time frame, when we zoom in, what are we seeing, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low. So again, at this moment, I can't take a trade, right? Just keep it simple. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. why on green's fucking God's green earth would I take a trade going long on a retest of the market structure's lower low and lower high, right? It doesn't make sense. So once you could read market structure, this is why market structure is very important, because a lot of people, right? Tell me if I'm wrong, you guys on the stream, right? A lot of people trade like this with their fucking screens all zoomed in. They have no clue what's going on the left hand side, and they're looking, oh my god, we're gonna be looking to take a buy here. If price breaks these highs, boom, we're gonna get in, right? And it's like, okay, the reason you're losing a trade is because you're taking a buy position, you're taking a long position on a pair that's obviously downtrending. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So you're meaning to tell me, again, price is doing lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You're meaning to tell me that you're going to take a long position here. Right. That makes a lot of sense. When price is making lower lows and lower highs, and this is why you see a lot of traders who hit stop loss and it looks like this. Right? You cannot take a trade going long if price is making lower lows and lower highs. You cannot take a position going short if market structure is making higher highs and higher lows. It just does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. So GCAD at this moment, this is going to be another pair that we're just going to skip. I'm not going to entertain it, right? There's nothing for me still. In order for me to even consider taking a trade on GCAD, I need to see price break above these highs. And if price does that today, perfect, right? It already did ADR for the day, so there's no longer anything left on the table for me. So I'll have to wait till tomorrow regardless to take this trade. This is the only way I'll start looking at GCAD to take trades, is if and when price breaks above these highs. Anything before that, we're bugging. There's nothing else here for us. No continuations, right? That's it. Price is moving sideways. GJ's already off for the day. As you can see, ADR for the day has already been hit. We also finally made another change of character higher high. So maybe GJ is going to start getting ready for this week to start that push back up to the top side, right? Which would be very ideal. Would love to see that, right? So GJ will come back at this tonight. We'll update this during the isolation session too. I'm not going to update the 30-minute highs and 30-minute lows. We'll do this on tonight's session at 7 p.m. We could also see that if price finishes with 2 days of rise, then tomorrow we already know we're going to be looking for price to give us another push to the top side. So everything is setting up really good for GJ. The EMA crossings look really good too, so we'll definitely keep this one in our watch list. GU, same thing. We're still trading between lower low and lower high, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low. Push to the top side. Right now, ADR for the day's already been hit. STP for the day's already been hit. There's nothing left on the table. I do like the fact that we have 2 days of rise. Again, could this be setting up for tomorrow to give us another push to the top side? Absolutely. But again, keep in mind that GU is still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. So could this push still be a lower high to go back into a lower low? Yes. Right? So we got to be very cautious when looking for a trade tomorrow for GU. You have to be very, very cautious. Right? But GU for the day is already done. ADR for the day is already hit. STP for the day is already hit. There's nothing left on the table for us. Right? Again, it's a rinse and repeat with every single pair, guys. Every single pair is rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Same thing. US 30. Oh no. Just gotta grab this real quick. Right, STP for US 30, ADR is 605 pips. STP is 405. Alright, we can see that we already made the moves for the day. Right. Gave us a nice little push during Asia session, London session. We've done 253 pips, so we're still good. US 30 still has room to move. Right, I do like the fact that we have a day of rise on Friday. Today seems like price wants to give us a second day push. However, again, just like the other pairs, what is price still doing? Lower low, lower high, lower low. So again, these buy position, these longs, when price is still making lower lows and lower highs, very risky. Very risky. However, we'll be looking for structure, we'll be looking for confirmations, right? In the daily time frame, price is still giving us higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Right, in the 4 hour time frame, Price did give us higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, but then price went down and gave us a lower low, right? We could also see that in the 4-hour time frame, this is where price has been pretty much moving sideways, right? Rejecting lows, going highs, rejecting lows, going to the middle, rejecting lows, going to the middle, right? We've just been rejecting highs and rejecting lows this entire time for the last couple weeks since the beginning of December. With that being said, right, again, US 30 is not in the best spot to look for a trade, but we can see where price is trapped, right? It's trapped between these highs and trapped between these lows. So as long as we're trading away from the highs and away from the lows, up until we get the break of structure, we'll be good to go, right? In the 4-hour, we also have a little engulfing candle here, which we can see that if price invalidates this engulfing candle in the 4-hour time frame, then we'll have a simple just break retest to continue back to the highs of the zone, right? We're seeing that in the 4-hour, so we go to the 30-minute time frame. This is what that would look like, right? Break retest to continue that push to the top side. We also have an engulfing candle here in the 30-minute time frame. We also have the EMAs crossing as well. So there's a lot of confluence here right now. There's a lot of confirmation right now for US 30, indicating that price is going to push to the top side. We just got to be patient, right? Wait for a little bit more of confirmations, right? This is going to be a pair that during the NYC session 9:30, that's when we'll start really looking to take a trade. But for right now, we just got to be a little patient. But US 30 will keep this one on, right? USD CAD is moving counter against the trend. We already did ADR for the day as well, so USD CAD is done. USD ZAR, same thing as USD CAD, is moving counter against the overall trend. We already hit the ADR for the day at 241 pips. So USD ZAR is done. Gold 325 is ADR. STP is 217, right? And we already did 243. So the fact that we already did STP for the day, that's it. Gold is done. I'm not gonna be looking to take a trade on gold. Gold in the 5-minute time frame too. Last night during the isolation session, we were looking to see if price was ready to move, right? And it did exactly what I had talked about. I was doing a little one-on-one session last night, right? And we were talking about, okay, look, in the 30-minute time frame, price gave us a nice engulfing candle, right? A bullish engulfing candle. For everybody who thought that price was going to continue to push to the top side after it gave us a break, retest, engulfing candle to continue, right? Higher high, higher low, going into a higher high. The only thing that was missing with gold is we never got a valid break of structure. We had a change of character, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high change of character, but price never gave us a higher low, higher high break of structure and then the pullback. So the fact that price never gave us that break of structure, it only gave us a change of character. Price was not ready to take a trade. It wasn't ready for that entry. So again, I'll explain that a little bit more in detail in tonight's session for sure. But right now let's just look at another pair, see if we could look for any entry. So gold is already done for the day, already hit STP. Bitcoin gave us another day of no net, price is moving sideways. Let's start from the top to the bottom. So we know that we're in V2. Well, we're in level 3 already, right? We had 3 months of rise. Last month price gave us a month of drop. We can see that price wants to give us a little shoulder head shoulder, but again, in order for this to be a validated shoulder head shoulder, we need to see price break below these lows here, right? So before that, we can't be looking for shorts. We need to see those lows being broken, and you can see that in the 4-hour time frame. We have a shoulder head shoulder, but price is just faking traders out, making them believe that this is where price is going to give you lower low, lower high, lower low, and then just goes back to the top side. We can see that in the 4-hour time frame, this is where price is moving sideways as well. So just keep it simple. In order for us to start looking for a trade, we need to see price break above here, right? Good morning, Adrian. What do you mean about STP? STP is safe take profit. That's the safe take profit. The way we get the safe take profit is by looking at the ADR for the day, right? The ADR is the average daily range, is how many pips on average a pair is going to move on a day-to-day basis, right? There is days where price could do more than the ADR. Obviously, if there's news, if it's been, for example, the fact that we came from Christmas and the New Year and the holidays, right? The bank holidays, whenever there's bank holidays, there's a little bit of volume, So whenever the markets go back to normal, that first day or that first week where the market starts opening again and there's normal volume, there's going to be more than the average of pips being made on those days. So for example, just how we see it, AU is a pair that usually moves 46 pips on a day-to-day basis, right? As you know, we've had what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks where we had bank holidays, markets were closed, etc., etc. So now Monday, the first day of the week, where the markets are moving back to normal, right? We did 82 pips already for the day, right? We've done double of what the average daily range is. So, is there times where the ADRs, where pairs are gonna do more than the ADR, where pairs are gonna do more than STP? Yes, but STP will always be hit 100% of the time. So that's what the safe take profit is. It's just a calculation. For example, ADR for AUD USD is 46 pips. So the STP, the safe take profit for AUD USD, is 30 pips for the day. So then whenever I take a trade, right? So for example, I'll give you an example on a pair that hasn't done STP yet. So US 30, for example. Hello, thank you. We know that STP is 405 pips, right? So let's say that we get this entry down here. Let's say we get the pullback and we get the entry, right? So we know that we're going to get into this position here. We're going to have a stop loss. Let's just use the basic stop loss down here at the bottom of the engulfing candle. And then the way I would calculate my take profit, right? There's factors like market structure, stuff like that as well. But let's just keep it simple for this example, right? 405 pips is STP, right? So let's say it's about here. So I already know that I'm gonna take profit in this area over here. So I'll be risking 83 pips to get 259. So that's how I use the STP in order to look for where I'm gonna use, where I'm gonna put my take profits, know how much price is gonna move. That's pretty much the example and the explanation. Let me know if that makes sense. So once again, for Bitcoin, right, we still know we're in an uptrend. We know that market structure, everything, market makers are giving us a little fake shoulder head shoulder to manipulate traders, right? Trap them into thinking that price is going to start pushing down. But again, we know the rules. We know where price has to push down. We know we need to wait for that break of structure. Similar for these buys. In order for us to look for these buys, what do we need to see? We need to see that break of structure. So right now for Bitcoin, just going to take a step back. I'm not going to entertain this one for today. We'll wait till tonight. We'll wait till tomorrow to look for a trade. And US oil is still moving counter, still moving against the overall trend. We understand that we're in A1, we're in the first zone of consolidation in a downtrend. We know that price is at the bottom of the zone of consolidation, so this is not the best spot to look for a trade. And price is moving against the trend. It's going counter. It's moving up, right? We have 2 weeks of rise. This week being the third week, we already see that price is pushing to the top side, right? We're still making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, and higher high. So right now, right, STP for the day is as well for US oil, 140 pips is ADR. STP is 93 pips, right? We already did 92, right? We already did 93 pips, right? We've done 93.7 pips already for US oil. So US oil is done for the day. So, pretty much the same thing I explained yesterday, guys. The reasons why I haven't really been doing the live trading sessions in the morning is because it really is boring. Like there'll be days like today, right? Especially on a Monday, right? Mondays are usually days where it's very difficult to wake up during NYC and look for a trade. And again, it makes sense because the markets were closed for the last 2 days, right? Markets close on Friday, they open up Sunday. So on Monday, there's usually going to be a lot more volume in the market on Monday when the markets open, because this is where all the money is coming in from the 2 days that markets have been closed, right? So with that being said, on Mondays, there's always a 90% chance that if you wake up for NYC session, you won't have a trade on Monday. There's a 90% chance. So again, the reason why I don't really do the live trading sessions in the morning is because let's say 50% of the time I wake up and it's just like this. Out of the 14, 15 pairs that I look at, there's maybe 1 or 2 pairs that I could look at, but we still have to wait, an hour and a half to look for an entry. So for example, for today, we only have US 30 left on the table for us. Everything else already made the move for the day, already hit ADR, already hit STP. there's really nothing left on the table. Um, but again, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Um, Market structure for US 30, Bitcoin, and gold look a bit different from regular currency pairs. Yeah, of course, right? We're talking about, US 30 is an index, the top 30 US companies, right? Bitcoin is a crypto, right? Cryptos move differently. They have similarities, right? So for example, US 30 and Bitcoin move very similarly, right? Market structure will look different, but when we're looking at it from a day-to-day basis, right, Bitcoin and US 30 move very similar. And I'll give you the example here. All right. These last couple of weeks has been a little bit different, but if you notice, this double bottom down here, this looks like a nice trend, right? Higher highs and higher lows. While US 30 gave us a double bottom, but we've just been stuck in a zone of consolidation, right? So just not to confuse you, right? But let's just talk about the regular, right? What you stated, right? Um, and then gold obviously is a commodity as well. So the currency pairs, every single pair is going to move differently, right? The difference is going to be what type of pair is it, right? Again, we understand commodities. What drives commodities, right? Gold, silver, right? News drives commodities. If something happens in the Middle East, right? Same thing with US oil, right? If something happens, if there's a war going on, which is what's going on right now, we know that those pairs are going to move crazy, right? They're going to be radical. They're going to have structure. You're just going to have to read it, right? This is why, not a lot of people talk about this, but when I started learning how to trade, like the big dogs, the real traders, not the people who are good at marketing and sell courses for $500. No, real traders back in the day, and not even back in the day, we're going to say 6-7 years ago, they always said, in order for you to start trading pairs like gold, Bitcoin, oil, US 30, silver, NAS 100, S&P, you have to graduate to those pairs. Because those pairs we're talking about, again, just look at the ADR, right? On a regular currency pair, right? We're talking about AUD USD is a pair that moves 46 pips on a day-to-day basis. If you can't read market structure on a pair that moves 46 pips, how are you expecting to go to US 30 that does 605 pips? If you can't read market structure when candles are moving 46 pips, how are you expecting to look at a pair that's moving 605 pips? Right? How are you expecting to look at gold that moves 325 pips? Right? How are you expecting to look at Bitcoin that moves 316 pips? Right? You can't. That's why other people say in order for you to look at pairs like US 30 and gold, those pairs that move a lot of pips on a day-to-day basis, you start off with GJ, or you start off with another pair that has a lot of pips, right? GJ has 181 pips. The reason why people are not profitable on GJ, if you go on Twitter, if you go on Instagram, and you go look at the people who post, who are transparent and post about GJ and how they lose the trade on GJ, the reason people lose their trade on GJ is not only because they don't know how to read market structure, right? Because that's already number one. The fact that you don't know how to read market structure, you're going to lose a lot of trades. But again, the fact that GJ moves 181 pips on a day-to-day basis, right? Again, if you can't read market structure, if you're not profitable on a pair like Euro USD, AUD USD, those pairs that only move 40, 50, 60 pips on a day-to-day basis, how are you expecting to be profitable on a pair that moves 181 pips? You're going to be faked out. Price moves way too fast. There's so much you have to learn in order to graduate to those pairs. Again, it's just like any other career. If you start off with AU, you start off with those small pairs that move 30, 40 pips, NZD, USDs, right? And you learn market structure. Then once you learn market structure and you're comfortable enough to know where you're trading, then you start moving to the big pairs, GJ, right? USD JPY, right? There's so many pairs on the Forex, on the currency side of it, that move over 100 pips, right? Once you learn how to read market structure and once you're comfortable trading pairs like GBP, JPY that move over 100 pips, then you start trading US 30, then you start trading gold, then you start trading oil, then you start trading Bitcoin. But if you don't know how to read market structure on a pair that's only moving 20 pips, how are you expecting to do that on a pair that's moving 200 pips? It doesn't make sense, right? It's just not going to work out. So again, that all goes to say this as well. Market structure looks different on bigger pairs because they're moving a lot more. But it's not that it doesn't look good. It's not that it's a bad pair. It's just a lot of people, they'll be looking at US 30 and they'll think that they're trading lower low, lower high, higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, lower high, lower low, higher low, lower high, higher low, higher high, and this is incorrect, right? This is not the way you read market structure, right? You can't have, in order for you to have a higher high and a higher low, price needs to break the most recent high, or vice versa. In order for you to have lower low and lower high, in order for you to have a new high and new low, price has to break the previous high or the previous low. So for example, right, the way you would read market structure, the correct way to read market structure, right, you have higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? None of this is lower high. Why? Because we're trading between this high and this low. Where did price break? Price broke here. So we know that we had lower low, lower high, lower low. And now we're trading between this high and this low. If price breaks this high, then we know that we have a change of character and we're trading between this low and this higher high up here. If price breaks above. Let me know if that makes sense. If you need me to explain it again, let me know. Again, everything that's happening in here is not considered a higher high or a lower low. This is not, again, this is not lower low, lower high, higher low, lower high, lower low, higher high. No. This is the incorrect way to read that. Again, we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, which is where you see I have the 30-minute high in the red box and the 30-minute low in the red box, right? So again, it is not that it looks bad or that structure isn't bad. No, it's just you have to be able to read market structure. If you do not know how to read higher highs and higher lows, it's going to be very difficult for you to take a trade. Which currency pairs will you say are beginner friendly? Any pair. Look, add the tool, right? The tool is called ADR, AWR, AMR by Smart Money Concepts, right? Add the tool to your trading view if you have trading view, and go look at every single pair. I would say any pair that does less than 70 pips, those are the pairs you should focus on. So for example, AUD CAD 46 pips, perfect. AUD CHF 39 pips, perfect. AUD USD 46 pips, perfect. AUD JPY 97 pips. Do not look at JPY pairs. JPY pairs are always going to do more. Do not look at AUD JPY. Again, only look at pairs that do 70 or 60 pips or less. Do not look at more. Right? CAD JPY 100 pips. Don't look at it. CHF JPY 145 pips. Don't look at it. Right? EA 103 pips. Do not look at it. EU 75 pips. EU I will give a pass. If you want to look at EU, you could look at EU. Right? EU is not, I don't think is a pair that's difficult to read. You know, especially being a currency pair. You know, I'll give you a pass if you want to look at EU. You know, ECAD 102 pips, 152 pips on EJ, ENZD 111, 151 pips for GA, GCAD 136, 181 for GJ, GU 100. NZD CAD, boom, 50 pips. Add NZD CAD, right? NZD CHF, perfect, 38 pips, right? NZD USD, perfect, 44 pips. NZD JPY does 86. I wouldn't add that. USD CAD neither is 81 pips. And market structure on it is difficult to read for beginners. USD CHF, it does 62 pips. No, I would add USD CHF. I'm not gonna, you know, if you end up adding USD CHF, let me know how you like it. and then I'll give you my reasoning as to why I want to say that. And that's pretty much it. But if you want to, obviously, I don't have every single pair added here. These are the pairs that I look at. But again, just add the tool, right? Again, the ADR tool. If you want to look at it again, ADR, AWR, AMR by Smart Money Concepts. Add the tool to your chart, and go one by one. Add every single currency pair that you know that you're comfortable looking at, and look for, just add pairs to your list that do 70 pips or less. If it does more than 70 pips, do not add it to your list. So that would be my suggestion. The currency pairs that are beginner friendly are going to be the ones that do 70 pips or less on a day-to-day basis. Those are the easiest ones to look at. So yeah, on another note, the only pair that we have left for today that hasn't done STP, that hasn't done ADR, that hasn't done the move for the day is US30. But this is an NYC session pair, so we're gonna have to wait an hour and a half, pretty much till 9:30. It's 8 o'clock right now, 7:58. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. Any other pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. If not, then we're just gonna be pretty much sitting here up until 9:30, to see if we could catch a trade, or until price does STP for the day at 405 pips. So yeah, just let me know. Any questions, any pairs you guys want me to go over, anything you guys want me to explain again. It doesn't matter if I already explained myself. If you need me to explain it again, my reasonings as to why I'm not looking at certain pairs, just let me know. Okay, guys, any questions, let me know. Mm. Donvo is streaming again. I kind of want to watch that, Donvo. I need to know if he's gonna talk about the situation. Hmm. Can we have a special series for this year, a step-by-step for beginners for market structure to make an entry? Yeah, of course. We pretty much do that. This is what the live sessions are for. Remember, we have three different live sessions on this channel, right? We have the live trading session, which is what we're doing today right now. We have the isolation session, which is the session we do at 7 p.m. That's the session where we pretty much go over the entries, the exits, the reasons why we're looking for those entries, the reasons why we took the entries that we took. We go over market structure, we go over the 30-minute highs and lows. The isolation session is where we go over pretty much that what you're saying. And then we have the weekly market breakdown, which is the one that we did yesterday, right? The one that we do on the weekend. That one is a little bit more, I wouldn't say in detail, but that one is more, the overall market makers pattern, the daily time frame, where we're trading, what we're looking for, if we're looking for uptrends or downtrends. In the 4-hour time frame, we look at, do we have any continuations? How many weeks of rise do we have? The 4-hour highs, the 4-hour lows, and then the 30-minute time frame as well for the weekly market breakdown. Now if you mean for like YouTube videos and stuff like that, I'm not opposed to it. Yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to it. The thing with YouTube videos and doing, I don't know, in my opinion, because everybody learns differently. So maybe what works for you might not work for somebody else, or vice versa. Something that may work for somebody else may not work for you. Over the last couple months, I've noticed that YouTube videos could only go so far, right? If in the sense where if I say something on the video that somebody doesn't understand, it's a little bit more difficult for them to message me and then get the question out, having to explain it. It's a lot easier if it's live on stream, which is why we decided to do the live streams instead of instead of the actual video uploads, right? Because at least on the YouTube, on the live streams, we could talk about market structure how I explained it to you, for example, right? And then if you have a question, you could ask that question here live on the stream. We could go over it here live if you have any other questions or anything else. We could do it here live when it's fresh, and it's a little bit easier to retain the information when you have it live instead of watching the video tonight and then having to wait a couple hours to ask the question and then get the answer, if that makes any sense. But I'm not opposed to it. We might be something that I start doing this year as well. We might do like little YouTube series talking about market structure and talking about when to look for an entry, how to look for an entry. But there's a lot that goes into it. Again, pretty much the same thing that I explained yesterday in the live session. If you're a straight beginner, like you haven't done one-on-one sessions, you haven't really, you don't know what the market maker's pattern is, my suggestion would be, I know you're in the Discord, right? My suggestion would be request a one-on-one session with either me or with E, and start from the beginning. Literally start from the beginning. Because again, if you don't know how to read market structure, you're not going to be able to take an entry, right? If you don't know how to read market maker's pattern, you're not going to be able to take an entry. And again, the reasons why, right? Because I could teach you, I'll teach you something basic, right? I could teach you what a double top looks like. I could teach you what a double bottom looks like, right? And I could tell you that it's simple, right? For a double bottom, you're looking for price to break the neckline, you're looking for a retest to continue. Vice versa for the double top, you're looking for price to break the neckline to give you the retest to then continue, right? To go short or to go long, right? But which one is the right double bottom? Which one is a correct double top, right? This double bottom here, right? Why didn't this double bottom go into profit? This double bottom here, right? Why didn't this one go into profit? Right? And it's based on market structure, right? What is price doing? Lower low, lower high, lower low. Why are you going to take a buy position when price is on the retest of the previous lower low? Right? It's very similar to what we were talking about on GCAT. Right? Remember we were talking about this entry on GCAT. Price is making lower low, lower high, lower low. Why would I take a buy position? Why would I take a buy position when price is on the retest of the previous lower low, lower high, lower low? It doesn't make any sense. So there's just, in trading, everything is step by step, right? The best example and the best analogy I could give you, right? Just think about it in school, right? Before you learn algebra, right? Algebra is something you learn in, here in the States, you learn algebra in ninth grade, eighth grade, right? Before you learn algebra, you have to learn pre-algebra, right? So it's everything is step by step. You learn pre-algebra, then you graduate and you learn algebra. And then once you learn algebra, you go to algebra 2. Right? Now once you learn algebra 2, then you go on and start learning calculus or whatever, whatever, right? Everything is step by step, and it's the same thing in trading, right? If you don't know how to read market structure, if you don't know how to read market makers pattern, if you don't know how to read candlestick analysis, you can't look for an entry. Because again, if you don't know the rules as to why we're not looking for, double bottom entries here, again, based on the fact that we're still trading lower low and lower high, right? You're just gonna look at this as, oh, it's a double bottom, I'm gonna take this trade because it's a double bottom, right? Or vice versa. When price is making higher highs and higher lows, why would you take a short here as a double top when price is still giving you higher highs and higher lows, right? So it's everything is step by step, and I know that's not what you want to hear. I know it's not what anybody wants to hear. Nobody wants to hear that, oh, you got to take a step by step, but it's true, right? Like you can't do surgery on a body, right? You can't be a surgeon and as you go to med school yesterday and then tomorrow you're already opening up bodies. Like, no, you have to know where the veins are in the body, right? You have to know where the bones are. Where are you cutting? Why are you cutting? If you cut too deep here, you're gonna kill the patient, right? It's the same thing in trading. If you enter here on a double bottom, you're going to lose that trade because you just don't know where you're at. You don't know where you're cutting into. You don't know what piece of the puzzle you don't know where in the puzzle you're in. You have no clue. So everything is step by step. So my suggestion would be, again, there is no something else with trading, and I'll say this, right? There is no shortcut. There is no, oh, I'm gonna do it faster than somebody else. You might understand it and learn it quicker than other people, which definitely could happen, right? But again, if you try to rush the process, if you try to go from step 1 to step 10, you're going to lose trades, and it's going to be harder for yourself, right? Because once you start losing trades and you think that you understand something, now your confidence goes down. So 6 months to a year from now, okay, cool, you lost trades, you lost confidence, you continue to learn, but your confidence is still low because of the first 2-3 months of trading when you were just losing every single day, right? And it's going to be a lot more difficult for yourself mentally to get out of that rut, to give yourself that confidence to be able to take trades. So you have to take a step by step. And again, I don't win anything. You got to understand, I don't win anything from telling you have to take a step by step. We don't charge you for doing one-on-one sessions. We don't charge you for the course. We don't charge you to watch these live streams. Everything we do is free. So everything that I'm telling you is literally coming from experience of and wanting to help. It's not me telling you, oh, you have to take a step by step and go learn the first lesson of the day, and I'm gonna charge you $50. Like, I'm not telling you, oh, you have to take a step by step and you have to pay me $25 to do a one-on-one session. Like, everything we do is free, right? So everything that I'm telling you, these, the experiences and the advice that I'm giving you is literally coming from my heart. Like, I'm telling you what it is that you need to do to be successful, right? And it's the blueprint. There's a blueprint for success. You have people who follow the blueprint and they're good, and then you have people who don't follow the blueprint. And again, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful. It just might mean that it might be a little bit more difficult to get to where you want to be at. What's good, Michael? Welcome to the stream, my brother. Good morning. So, that's just my advice, Albert. Again, looking for the entries are cool. I could teach you the engulfing candles. I could teach you the double bottoms. I could teach you the flag post patterns. I could teach you the crossings of the EMAs and, what level you want to look. If you're in level 1 and level 3, you're looking for the price to bounce off the 50 EMA. If you're in level 2, you're looking for price to bounce off the 200 EMA. I could teach you every single confluence and every single confirmation and every single entry model that we have, that we use on a day-to-day basis. However, again, if you don't know how to read market makers pattern, if you don't know if you're in level 1 or in level 2, how do you know what EMA to look at, right? If you don't know if you're making higher highs and higher lows or lower lows and lower highs, how do you know which engulfing candle to look at? Because again, This might be an engulfing candle, a bullish engulfing candle, but price is still making lower lows and lower highs. So why would I be looking for a bullish movement when price is still giving us lower lows and lower highs? Right? Vice versa. Why would I be looking for a bearish engulfing candle? Why would I be looking for a double top when price is making higher highs and higher lows? Right? But if you don't know how to read market structure, you don't know how to, you can't tell, what you're trading, right? So again, there's a lot of steps, and what we were saying yesterday on the stream, like, this isn't easy, and this isn't just, oh, I'm gonna learn one thing and I'm gonna be successful. Again, there's a lot of traders who only trade one entry model, and they're gonna tell you that they have only one thing that they look at. But if you compare their trading journal with my trading journal, if you compare their trading journal with East trading journal, you see how accurate we are compared to other people, right? A lot of other people are going to take a trade. For example, on gold, they're going to be looking to take a trade, and they get in and out of the trade in 1 pip, right? They're looking for 10 pips, right? When we trade gold, again, this is why I gave you guys the example. Like, we're not looking to catch 1 pip, 2 pips, 10 pips. We're looking to catch 152 pips on a pair like gold, right? We're looking to catch the move, right? 183 pips, or 1 to 10, right? We're talking about very minimum um drawdown. Stop losses are very close. 18 pip stop loss for 183 pip take profit, right? Every single time. We're not looking to catch just one single pip. Oh, the candle moved in profit. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take profit now because it moved. Like, no, we understand that. Once again, for the people who do live streams and catch 2 single pips or just one candlestick movement, those are people who have 100K, 200,000, 300,000, $400,000 on their account, and with one single pip, with 10 pips on gold, they're making $1,000. They're making $10,000 profits. But if you're a small trader, if you only have $100 in your account, $50 on your account, even if you only have $1,000 on your account, you're not gonna win any money catching 2 pips like these people who live stream, because you don't have the capital to do that, right? So you have to be able to learn the entire piece of the puzzle. In trading, it's more than just higher highs and higher lows. Where are you? What are you looking at? How are the candlesticks printing? Are you downtrending? Are you uptrending? Are you trading against the trend? Are you trading with the trend? Are you catching a pullback? Are you catching the continuation of the trend? Right? There's so many questions you have to ask yourself in trading before you even enter a trade, right? Because if you're just trading a pullback, right? For example, if you're trading lower lows, lower highs, and lower lows, and you're trying to catch a buy position from a lower low going into a lower high, right? How do you know where to take profit, right? Because we understand that a lower high isn't always going to be, 40, 50, 60 pips. A lower high might be 20 pips, right? And that's where the fib retracement comes in as well. A lot of people who use fib retracements, right? How do you know if you're going to get a 50% fib retracement, or if you're going to get a 23.6 fib retracement? How do you know if you're going to get a 78.6 fib retracement, or if you're just going to get a 38.2 fib retracement, right? So there's a lot of steps in trading. There's a lot of things you have to learn before you even learn entries, because again, without market structure, without understanding the reasons as to why you're taking a trade, if your reason for taking a trade is only, oh, it's a double bottom or a double top, or like anything else, right? If it's just because you saw an engulfing candle, or just because you saw an order block, or just because you saw, price touch your trend line, if that's your only reason to take a trade, is not sufficient. You need to be able to read the market like if it's your language. If you look at the candlesticks and it still looks Chinese to you, you still have a lot of work to do. That's the best way I could give you that example. If you look at candlesticks and it still looks like another language, if you don't understand it, you're still not ready to learn entries. Because if you don't speak Chinese and the fucking market is looking like Chinese, that's a problem. But if you speak Chinese and you could read exactly what the candlesticks are telling you, right, then you're perfect. Then you know exactly what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and how it's going to happen. And you now just have to be patient and wait for that to happen. Right? So that's the best way I could explain that, to be honest with you. Um, are you supposed to place the green, gray, red box on the highest and lowest candle wick previous high? Yeah. So, for example, um, for the 30 minute, right? 30 minutes is the red box, right? So since we know that we were trading again lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? My lower low, the red box in the lower low is the lowest wick, and I'm looking for the lowest body of the candle. So for example, this red candle has the lowest wick and is also the lowest red body in the zone. So that's going to be the lower low zone, right? This is the lower low, right? In the lower high is the same thing. In the lower high, I'm looking for the highest candle, right? In this case is the in the lower low, you're looking for the last red candle before the push to the top side, right? The lowest red candle before the push to the top side. In a lower high at the top, you're looking for the last green candle, the highest green candle, or the highest, the highest point before the push to the bottom side. So in this case, right, we know that the wick, the highest point in this lower high is the green wick. But I'm not gonna put my box just in this little zone, 'cause that's a very small zone. So instead of using the body of the green candle here, I'm using the body of this green candle here, right? So it just gives me a little bit more of a bigger zone than I would if I were to just use the wick. And then same thing, right? In the 4 hour time frame is the same thing, right? In the 4 hour time frame, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, boom, lower low. So where I place my blue box, which is the 4 hour low, is the lowest point, right? When we had the break of structure, the break of structure happened here, right? Boom, the lowest point is this red candle here, right? Or the lowest point is the green candle, right? The lowest point is the green candle, but again, I'm looking for the last red candle before the push to the top side. So I'm using the green candle wick, but I'm using the body of the red candle to put the blue box. And then the same thing up here, right? The highest point is this green wick over here, right? But instead of using this entire zone of this entire wick, I'm just using the highest point, which is the wick, and I'm using the body of this green candle over here, right? And that's my 4 hour high. And then again, same thing for the daily time frame, right? The daily high and the daily low is the exact same thing, right? The highest candle, the lowest candle. Which in the daily time frame, this is actually incorrect. I have to change this. I forgot to do this. Right? In the daily time frame, we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high. So the last red candle before the push to the top side. Right? There you go. I hope that made sense. Let me know if you need another example or another explanation. I guess the one-on-one will be the best way to learn. But can we go over the daily again? I thought price broke in my mind. It feels you jumped. Yeah, the daily time frame on US 30. So on US 30, right? We have on the daily time frame, you have higher high. Right, let's change this to gray. As a matter of fact, let's just do this. It's all good. Give me 1 second. Let me do this. Visibility. 4 hour. Visibility. 4 hour. Visibility. 4 hour. And visibility 4 hour. Right. So boom. In the daily time frame, you have higher high, higher low. Right. I'm not gonna say this is higher high, higher low, higher high. In the daily time frame, why? Because this isn't a significant pullback. Right. All of this is part of the same trend. Right. Price is just continuing the trend, higher high, higher low. Right. So I'm saying all of this is part of the same trend. So we're trading between higher high, higher low, higher high. Right. So we know that in the daily time frame, we're trading between this daily high. Right. And again, the daily high is the highest candle. And again, in this situation, the highest candle, the highest point is this green wick. Right. I'm gonna use the green wick and the body of the green candle just so we could have a safe zone, so we could have enough room for price to do whatever it has to do. Right. And then the low again, which is this higher low down here, same thing. I'm using the lowest candle, which in this case the lowest candle is the red wick. Right. And I'm using the entire candle. Right. I'm using the wick, I'm using the body, so we have enough space. Right. Because if I just use, for example, this is a pretty small zone, so I want to have enough space, enough room for price to move and do what it has to do. Right. So I'm using the last red candle before the push to the top side, which again is the lowest candle in the higher low. And then in the higher high, I'm looking at the highest candle, but it's usually always going to be the last green candle before the push down to the bottom. One-on-one got gems, not gonna lie. Yeah, the one-on-one sessions, obviously, the one-on-one sessions is catered to you, right? That's why I always like the one-on-one sessions, again, a lot more than just doing a YouTube video, because there might be something that on the YouTube video there might be something that I missed or something that you just don't understand. um again, it's not catered to everybody. But the one-on-one sessions, again, whether you do it with me or you do it with E, they're catered to you, right? The one-on-one sessions are for you, right? They're created. Every one-on-one session is different, right? So a one-on-one session that I might have with Michael, it won't be the same as a one-on-one session that I have with Albert, right? Everybody learns different. Same thing. Like if Adrian does a one-on-one session, it's gonna be completely different than your guys' one-on-one session, right? It's all the same information, but the examples, the analogies, the way you explain it, the pairs that you look at, they're gonna be different, right? So again, the one-on-one sessions are definitely a lot better than anything else, to be honest with you. Again, the fact that they're catered to you, specifically to you, it's that it helps clear out confusions, and a lot easier to learn like that, to be honest. What's the ADR indicator name? Is this one? ADR, AWR, AMR by Smart Money Concepts. Thanks, no problem. Thank you for the explanation, bro. Yeah, of course, Albert, no problem. Let me know if you have any other questions or anything else that you want me to explain. And again, any other pairs you guys want me to go over, anything you guys are looking at, let me know. Whether or not the pairs on our list, just let me know. Um, Never knew you did live trading on YouTube. Yeah, when we first started doing the streams, I used to do this every single day. Um, but yeah, like for maybe I'm gonna say like we did it for 4 months straight, like 4 or 5 months straight in the beginning of last year of 2024. Um, but I just got bored with it, right? Pretty much just how every single time I talk about it, I say the same thing, right? Like for example, like today, right? There's really no pairs left for the day that have moves. So it's like we're just sitting here. It's been an hour and 14 minutes. Like, yeah, we still give good information because we're always gonna give examples and explanations and speak about the reasons why or why not. So it's not like a complete total waste of time. But for example, on a day like today where all we have left for the day is US 30, we have to wait till 9:30 and it's still just 8:35. So we're still just gonna sit here for an hour and just look at candlesticks printing, right? And it's not even a lot of volume. It's not like we could catch an entry on US 30 before 9:30, right? It's very rare to catch a trade on US 30 before 9:30. Um, so a lot of the times I just got bored with the live streams because a lot of the times I was just sitting here, not doing anything. Um, but that's just something I have to get better with. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's good information, especially for what we're trying to do here, is to try to teach people how to trade. This is always a good session to have because this shows you the reality of trading, right? Where not every day is a trading day, right? It shows you that you have to be patient. The days that you're not patient are the days you're gonna lose. So being able to showcase that live and really show you guys what it is that we do when we take a trade, it shows the reality of trading. So it's not too bad. That was on Discord. Yeah, I did it on Discord. So once I stopped doing the streams on YouTube, I just did it on Discord. But it is beneficial for the people who are not on the Discord, to have the recording as well. If somebody can't make the live trading session in the morning, they'll watch the recording. So it's beneficial to do it here as well in the YouTube. Um, what percentage will you say is a healthy win rate on a monthly basis? Um, that's a good question. It really depends, right? You have traders who only have a 50% win rate and are profitable, right? You have traders who have a 30% win rate but are profitable. It all boils down to your risk management. Um, but I will say this, right? There's traders who understand that the position that they got into, they already understand if it's high probability or low probability, right? And based on whether or not is a high probability or low probability is how they react to what their loss size is gonna be. So for example, if you know you're in a um high risk but low reward trade, meaning you're not in the best trade to win, but if you do win is a very good amount that you're gonna win. There's gonna be people who, instead of, I'll send you like a regular example. Instead of trading a dollar lot size with a trade that's low probability, they'll trade 50 cents, right? They'll risk half, or they'll risk 25% or 25 cents, right? They'll only risk half of the 50 or whatever the case is. um so then that way, when you lose the trade, instead of losing $250, you're only losing $75, $50, right? And then whenever they get into a high probability trade where they know 100% is a high probability trade, they get into that trade, but instead of getting into that trade with a dollar or with 50 cents, they get in with $2, they get in with $3, they get in with $4, right? So then the losses that they took, the $50 loss that they took, you know, they just took a $4 loss size trade. When you're losing $50 but you're winning $2,000, $3,000, is not that bad. So if you lose five trades in a row with $50, right? That's 50, 100, 150, 200, $250, right? So you just lost five trades in a row, but the one trade that you won was a $2,500 to $3,000 win. That's it. Like you pretty much just made everything that you lost and some, right? You're still in profit. So that question really varies, right? But again, that question varies really depending on the information and the knowledge that you know. Because again, you could trade every single trade. You could take every single trade that you see on the charts, whether it's high probability or low probability. But if you don't know what's high probability and what's low probability, if you take the same dollar lot size every single time you trade, for example, you could only lose 8% of a funded account. Let's say you risk 1% every single time you trade. That's 8 trades in a row that you can't. If you lose 8 trades in a row, you lose the account. So, if you don't have risk management, but again, all of that ties down to the information that you know, right? Because you can't have good risk management if you don't know what you're trading, because you don't know what's going to be high probability or low probability. Um, so that question really varies. It's, again, is it possible to be profitable with a 20%, 30%, 40%, 50% win rate? Yes, 100%. But in order to do that, you need to know the information of the charts, right? It is what it is. Um, that's pretty much the only way I can answer that question. To be honest with you, again, there is no holy grail. There is no, oh, you have to have 100% win rate. You have to have a 90% win rate. I understand that that's not a probability. That's not something that a lot of traders could do, right? It's very low percentage of traders who actually have a 80% plus win rate. But the traders who have that, you realize how it is that they trade, and then it makes sense. Then you're like, oh shit, this guy's the real deal, right? Compared to other traders. Not saying that other traders aren't good traders, it's just a different level of trading, right? It's a completely different level of trading. But again, it could happen. Again, you could out of 5 trades that you lose, you could win one and still be profitable. But you have to understand the basics of it, which is, number one, why did you lose those trades? Right? Now that you understood why you lost those trades, you have to make a decision, right? You're either going to continue to take those trades and say fuck it, or you're going to learn from those losses and you're not going to take those trades anymore, and you're just going to wait for the high probability trades. If that makes any sense. It makes sense. Okay, cool. Um, do you publish the live streams after on YouTube? Yeah, yeah. As soon as the stream's over, it'll be uploaded as soon as it's over. All the streams are uploaded right after. So if, for example, the weekend session, if anybody missed it, they could go ahead and watch the recording. Um, any of the isolations that we do Monday through Thursday, the 7 p.m. session. If you missed the live stream, you could always go back to the channel. If you go to the channel, just click on the channel name and then go to the live streams, the live stream tab, and then it should all be recorded and posted there. And then also, if you're in the Discord, you could always click on the link that we post on the Discord, and it'll take you directly to the video as well. Warwick start the 101. I believe so. Yes. Um, I could always call him and ask him later, and then I'll post it in the Discord, or I'll tell him to post his availability in the Discord. But if you go to the Discord and you click on his one-on-one session link, his schedule should be posted. So if you wanna, if you wanna request on one-on-one with him today, or if you wanna request one for tomorrow, um, request it. Go to the Discord, click on the link, request the time, and he should accept it, and he'll let you know. But to have more clarity, I could call him later today. He's usually sleeping at this time. But I could call him later today and I'll ask him, and then I'll have him post his availability again on Discord. Are you also in the DR? No, no. I'm in Miami, in Florida. Alright, so let's take a look at US 30. Did give us a little bit of volume at 845. How many pips are we missing for the day? 405. We're almost done, but we're still missing a good amount. So the best thing that could happen right now on US 30, right? We understand again we're trading between lower low and lower high. So we're trading between this break, right? This break gave us this high, right? Price then gave us a higher high, which is what happened now. It gave us a little change of character. So the best and the most ideal thing for price to do now, what I would love to see price do, is do something like this. This is what I would like for price to do. This is what I'm looking for. Now, if price decides to just continue the push to the top side and it doesn't give us the opportunity to take a trade, then it's all good. It is what it is, right? A lot of pairs this week, a lot of pairs today are giving us continuations, right? A lot of pairs look like price wants to give us 2 days of rise today, which means tomorrow we'll be looking for another push to the top side. We'll be looking for another entry. And we could go through that real quick and we could see what pairs are doing that, right? So AU is moving counter, so AU is not, I'm not counting that as 2 days of rise. EA, as we talked about earlier today, is just moving sideways, so I'm not looking at anything on EA. EU is perfect, right? The only bad thing with EU is that we're still trading between the lower low and the lower high in the 30-minute time frame, right? But we do have 2 days of rise. Today was going to be that second day, so EU might be a good trade for tomorrow. Depending on how ECAD finishes today, might be a good one for tomorrow. We can see that right now price went right back down to the bottom. So if it doesn't give us 2 days of rise, then it's all good. But could be a good one for tomorrow. GA ended up pushing down exactly what we said we were going to be looking for. GCAD, same thing, still kind of just waiting. GJ has 2 days of rise. Today would be that second day if we finish somewhere here at the top. Would love to see this to continue push tomorrow. So we have about what 4 pairs for tomorrow that look decent, right? GU also looks decent for tomorrow. US 30 looks good for tomorrow as well. USDZAR and USD CAD are moving counter, so nothing there. Let's look at gold. Right, gold, we have 2 days of drop. Could be a good one for tomorrow to continue the push down to the bottom. Right, would be a very interesting pair to take a look at. Bitcoin, nothing just yet, right? We're still at the higher high, and then oil, nothing yet. So yeah, we have about what 4 pairs that look good for tomorrow. That could be potentially good pairs for tomorrow. So you know, we'll just have to do our due diligence. Again, as traders, our job is to wait for our opportunity to be present, right? If our opportunity isn't present, then we don't have any trades, right? And right now, that's what we're going to be looking um, for these pairs. Right? So we know we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we'll see what US 30 wants to do. We have 23 minutes for uh, the NYC Open at 9:30. So we'll wait for that. If if we don't get the move that we're looking for, then it's all good. We'll be done for the day, and we'll be back again tonight for the isolation session at 7 p.m. So in about 10 hours is going to be the next stream. So make sure you guys set your alarms up for 10 hours from now, especially those who live in a different time zone, especially for those who live 6-7 hours ahead of me. um I know it's going to be late 7 p.m. for some people. Is already 1 a.m. 2 a.m. So if you can't make it to the session, again, completely understandable. Once again, that is the reason why we do upload this stream right after we finish. If you wake up in the morning, in your morning, you wake up, you watch the stream. If you have any questions before the NYC session starts, or if we turn the stream on, you have any questions about the isolation session, about anything that we talked about, you could always feel free to message us or wait till we do the live stream and ask the questions. But you know what? I'm still interested. I want to see what Donvo is doing, man. I no hate for the guy, bro. I really don't. I'm happy that he's back. I'm happy that he's, in a good state of mind. Especially. Oh, he turned the stream off already. Especially with the bullshit. I just don't understand his entry model and why he enters the way that he enters. But again, that's his entry model, so I don't have to understand it. But it just shit does not make sense, that entry that he took on gold. But it's all good. Winning trade is a winning trade, but again, you know, what I don't, again, everybody trades differently. And the only thing I'll say about, and this is not only him, right? This goes towards a lot of traders who do live streams. Um, the type of way that they trade is not feasible for beginner traders, right? It's not feasible to have a 300 pip stop loss and then a 10 to 20 pip take profit, right? Number one, again, if you have $100 account, $200 account, $500 account, you're not gonna make any type of profits trading just one candlestick move, and it's not even one candlestick move. Like it's just 10 pips, 5 pips, right? So you know his job is to be profitable in his entry model, and he's doing a good job at it. So I can't say anything bad about it. But again, when it comes to beginner traders and teaching beginner traders how to teach, I don't agree with how he does it. But it's good that he's back. Um, how bad do you want it? It's simple. Yeah, yeah, it really is. That's pretty much what I was saying yesterday, right? Um, there's people who thrive off of just motivation. There's people who thrive off of, they wake up, they feel motivated, and then they go and do the work because they're motivated. But, for some people, how long does motivation last? Right? For some people, motivation can last a few weeks, a few days, a few hours. Sometimes motivation can last a few minutes, right? For some other people, it could last a few years. So I'm always one, and I've always said this. I always said this, especially when I was younger, right? I don't do things off of motivation, right? The number one thing you have to do is discipline, right? You need to have the discipline to know that, again, you have to wake up at 6. You have to, if you know you have to wake up at a certain time, you have to wake up. If you know you have to be on your charts, you have to be on your charts. Like, it's not like, oh, I don't feel like doing it today. There is no such thing, because that one day that you feel like you don't want to do it is going to turn into 2 days, then it's going to turn into 3 days, then it's going to turn into 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, where you're not motivated, and you don't have the discipline to just do it because you have to do it. um and again, that's completely okay. I'm not here to make anybody feel bad or invalidate their feelings and how they feel. um but it's just the reality. Like, if you do things just because you're motivated to do them, what happens when you wake up and you're no longer motivated? You're just not going to do it. And for some people, that is the reality. For some people, if they're not motivated to do something, they're just not going to do it, and that's completely okay too. But there's certain things in life that, and this is a broad statement, because what I might think is, for example, trading is something that I don't do it because I'm motivated. I do it because I'm disciplined enough to know that this is just something I have to do. Right? For other people, the way I feel about trading, some people feel that way about school. Some people feel that way about getting a degree, getting a diploma, getting a certificate, going to school, going to classes. Some people feel that way about going to work, right? Some people feel that way about just doing the regular day-to-day work. And again, it's okay. There is no, in this life, at the end of the day, we all live the same life. right? We all wake up, we all go to sleep, we all have to take a shit, we all have to pay bills. You know, if doing what you're doing now is what you need to do to pay your bills, you can't let somebody make you feel bad about the type of work that you're doing, because we all have to pay bills. We all have a different path. We all have different visions, right? Not everybody likes what everybody likes. Everybody's different, right? So, that's one thing that I hate about social media, and I hate about the generation, and not even only this generation, that's always been a thing. Like, people make other people feel bad about what they're doing in their situation. It's like, who are you to say what I want to do or what I don't want to do? Like, why do you care so much? Right? And I always feel like every time I go into a live stream or I go into anything on social media, it's always people talking shit about other people in their work and their lifestyle. It's like, yo, if the guy's fucking happy, let him be happy. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. Again, everybody has to work. Everybody, somebody has to clean up. Somebody has to take orders. Somebody has to, fix your car. Somebody has to be the person pumping gas in your car if you're in a country or in a state where you can't do it by yourself. Somebody has to do those type of work everywhere. Everybody has to do it. We all have family members, we have siblings that do it. Like, it's not something out of this world. So, like, I fucking hate when people go online and start talking shit about, other people's livelihood, if that makes any sense. um but again, that just goes into what trading is too. Like, for some people this is not something they want to do. For some people this is something that they saw, like, holy shit, this is going to open up a lot of doors for me. Let me learn this, so then that way I could do what I want to do in the future. And again, some people have that idea when it comes to school. Some people hate school, but they do it anyway because it opens up opportunities for them. And again, everything is true. Like, any career choice that you decide to do, anything you decide to do in life, it's all the same. The only difference is going to be the work, right? The same way you feel about trading, it might be the same way you feel about school, is the same way you feel about going to doing anything, any type of job. It's just, right now, what do you feel like doing the most? Would you rather learn this, or would you rather go to school? Would you rather take 4 years to learn how to trade, or would you rather take 4 years to get your degree in school, right? So, and then at the end of the day, it's just like what you said. How bad do you want it? Like, if you really want it, you'll go through the bullshit and graduate school. If you really want it, you'll learn trading. You'll learn the skill. You go through the bullshit. So, you know. I'm looking at the wrong pair. Holy shit. US 30. What time is it? 9:18. Okay. So again, we have this engulfing candle here, right? Bullish. but then we also have a bearish engulfing candle at the same time, right? Which is very similar to what we're looking at here in the 4-hour time frame, which is why I wanted to see the 4-hour time frame. Again, understanding market structure in the zones that you're trading in is very important, right? In the 4-hour time frame, we're trading between the bearish engulfing candle, and in order for this to be an invalid engulfing candle, yeah, we already invalidated if you got into the trade early and hit your stop loss, but price never closed above the zone. And in order for this to be a flip zone, in order for us to start looking for buys, we needed to see this 4-hour candle close above the zone. And the fact that we just have a wick and it's an exhaustion candle, if price closes like this in 40 minutes, this would be an exhaustion candle, which lets us know that these buys are not validated anymore. They're not valid buys anymore, right? So now that we could see that, and we could see that price gave us a bearish engulfing candle, you know, this is where a lot of traders get trapped, right? Because you have the traders who got into a trade here, going into buys, right? And then now you have traders going short who are getting into shorts here. So in a range of, just so you guys can see the perspective, right? In a 95 pip range, you have buyers and sellers in the same area, right? And again, there's no confirmation as to where price wants to go, because price just gave us a change of character, higher high. A lot of people would say, oh, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? But again, when you go into these different time frames and you see that right now, the market makers are just trapping traders, right? Remember, you have different moves in the market. You have the trap, and then you have the trend, right? Are you going to enter a trade that's in a trap, or are you going to wait for the trend to start happening and then get in on a trend? That's really what trading is about. Once you could visualize and once you could see when the market makers are trapping traders and when the market makers are trending, that's going to save you so many losses. You're going to make so much more money once you could visualize and once you could see that the market makers are just not ready to take that trade. Once you see that you're in the trend and once you see that you already exited the trap, that's when you should start looking to take a trade. So right now, again, I'm just taking a step back. The number one thing I wanted to see was this closure in the 4-hour time frame. I would have loved to have seen that happen, and we almost had it. We almost had it. And we still have time, right? If the entry is not given at 9:30, we still have until 9:45. We still have it until 10:30, right? So we still have enough time to look for an entry on US 30. However, right now there's just no clean or crystal clear entry possibility. Just like Friday, right? Friday I didn't do a stream, but I was with a trader. He was doing his stream and he took a trade on Friday. And this was the exact same thing. It was on NAS. It was the exact same explanation that I just gave now, right? I understand that you see price wanting to push to the top side. I understand how you might think that's what price is doing. But let's look at the other point of view as well. Let's look at the shorts. Let's look at the sellers, right? Do we have confirmation that price wants to sell? And we do. So if you have confirmation that price wants to buy and you have confirmation that price wants to sell at the same time, you already know you're in a trap. You already know you're going to be trapped. And it doesn't matter what position you take. If you take a buy or a sell, it's still a 50% chance of you winning and a 50% chance of you losing. Now, if you wait for the traps to finish and you wait for the break of structures and you wait for the trend to start happening, that's when you're going to win 100% of your trades. 100% of the time. So we just got to be patient. Again, right now, US 30 is giving us confirmations for sells with this engulfing candle, and it's giving us confirmations for buys with this engulfing candle. Again, a 95 pip range where you have buyers and sellers at the same time. There's a, I don't know if US 30 is on this website. There's a website where you could see how many buyers and sellers are in certain pairs, and I'll show you guys that right now. I just don't know if US 30 is part of this. I know gold is in it. Oh my god. Pause on this site. I know gold is in this. I just don't think US 30 is in this shit. But I'll show you guys. Right? You have gold. Right? You have 49% of traders shorting and you have 51% of traders going long. Right? So you have 50-50. Right? And if you look at gold, is the exact same explanation as US 30. If you look at gold, you know, again, you have confirmations, you have you have confirmations that price wants to buy. And again, that confirmation, hello, stop freezing, right, is that price gave you lower low, lower low, higher high, higher low. So you had a lot of traders who were trading this as a higher low going into a higher high, right? Same explanation as last night. Why didn't we take these trades going long with the bullish engulfing candle? Is because there wasn't enough confirmation, right? And then price sold off, right? So you still have the people who want to buy, and you still have people who want to sell. Could this just be a pullback, a higher low to go into a higher high? Is the same thing with US 30 right now. Is it accurate? I mean, yeah, it's accurate. It's all the FX book is the website. I used to use it a lot when I was on MT4. um you create an account here, and then you link your trading account. So this is pretty much just information off of the people who are signed in, and they have their accounts linked to the website, and this is just showing you all their positions, right? Euro USD is another one that's 50-50, right? You have buyers and sellers at the same time. And again, you might think, oh, but like, how? It's because, again, you have the traps, right? Whenever again, people are looking at this and they're super zoomed in, right? They might believe that this is the break of structure, and this is where you go into buys, right? So you have buyers who are getting into positions here, but then again, understanding that you're still trading lower low and lower high, right? You had lower low, lower high. The price broke here, gave you lower low, right? This push to the top side is just a lower high, right? If you use a fib retracement, right? Let's put everything in perspective. Again, this is why understanding both sides of the picture is very important, right? Where did price go in the fib retracement? We talked about this yesterday with the fibs. Somebody, I think it was Albert, that asked about the fibs, right? The 50% retracement. So again, you have buyers who are getting into buys here, and you have sellers who got into sells here. So you have, put it in perspective once again, just like US 30, you have a 65 pip range where you have sellers and buyers in the exact same spot, right? Who's right and who's wrong, right? That's what we don't know, because again, there's not enough confirmations to get into those trades. There isn't enough confirmations to get into that trade. Very similar to US 30, right? When the market is showing you signs that it wants to buy and sell at the same time, that's when you know that price is faking traders out. It's trapping traders. The market makers are accumulating contracts. They're forcing you to get into a trade, and then watch. Let's look at 4 minutes, right? This is the last thing I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna let the market move. Because sometimes people think that I talk in hindsight. Like, no, I'm telling you this is gonna happen before it fucking even happens, right? There's a 90% chance that at 9:30, the market for US 30 is gonna move like crazy. Watch. We'll see it happen. We have 4 minutes. That's the last thing I'm gonna say. We'll see how the market reacts in 4 minutes. Is there anybody else trading right now? Wix 9 is trading. Time to eat trading. Is he still trading, or is he done? Time to eat trading. Oh, he already turned the live stream off. He did stream this morning. He took any trades? Let's see. Yeah, he took the same trade as Don, bro. So I'm not understanding what fucking trades these guys take, man. And how and why. Like, what confirmations did you have here? Keep doing my thing, man. 58 seconds. Alright, let's see. Once again, remember what I was saying about 9:30 candle. You got 50 seconds to see what price does. Me previously, that's a BOS, man. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, is it a break of structure? What makes a real break of structure? Like the first break, right? The first higher high is a change of character, right? The first break, that first higher high that's made when price is making lower lows and lower highs, is not a confirmed shift in the trend, right? In order for this to be a valid break of structure too, right? On top of the fact that it needs to happen after the change of character, right? The first green candle that breaks above the zone is not a break of structure. It's a testing candle. If we would have had another green candle close above the zone without touching that break of structure line, then maybe we could have said, oh yeah, that's a little break of structure. That's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot of pieces to trading that, you know, it's not your fault that you don't know the rules, right? Because again, if you go to YouTube right now and you go and you look for that information that I just told you about the break of structure, you might not find it. You might not find it because not everybody understands what a real break of structure is, right? Like there's a lot of people who just believe that a break of structure is whenever price goes above the previous high, whether it's a wick, a body, it doesn't matter, right? If price just taps the top of the zone, you know, that's the break of structure. Price shifted, let's start looking for higher highs and higher lows, or vice versa. But that's not the case, right? There's rules to this game that if you don't know the real rules, it's gonna be very difficult to be. I'm not gonna say it's difficult to be profitable, but it's gonna be very difficult to find the consistency of being profitable, and that's where it's at, right? That's why it's very important, and that's what I was telling Albert, right? It's very important to go step by step, lesson by lesson, because again, I could teach you entries right now, but if you don't know what a real break of structure is, if you don't know what a testing candle is, if you don't know what a real double top or real double bottom is, if you don't know what a real shift in the trend is, a real change of character or a fake one, right? If you don't know how to tell between when the market makers are trapping traders and when they're trending, right? If you don't know how to read that in the market, there's no point in learning entries because you're just gonna lose. You're gonna lose, and I would rather you lose based off an error that you made off the chart rather than losing based off of something that you don't know, right? Because again, if you keep on losing in the beginning stages of trading, you're going to lose confidence. A lot of people stop trading in the beginning of in the beginning phase of them learning how to trade. They stop because they lose confidence, because they're like, oh, I keep losing, this is impossible, I'm never going to learn. But again, the mentality has to shift, right? There's no such thing as becoming a millionaire overnight. All these traders that you see flexing cars, and we're talking about real traders. Sorry, somebody just opened the door, I don't know who. We're talking about real traders. If you go look at real traders again, Raja Banks, if you go look at Q Banks, right? Those are like the top two that I always give examples of. And you go look at their Instagram pages 7 years ago, 8 years ago, you will see that before they started flexing cars and millions of dollars, what were they doing? They were flexing the fact that they were on MT4 making $100 profits and they still have a lot of learning to do. They were taking pictures of themselves sleeping with their laptops or their PCs on while watching a video learning how to trade. Before they were flexing the cars, they were flexing the come up. They were flexing that they were studying. They were flexing that, hey, I just made $200 off of one trade. I'm working at Target making $120 a fucking day. I just doubled my salary with one trade, right? You have to understand that, that idea that you're going to be a trader today and then tomorrow you're going to go buy a house for your family and you're going to no longer be in poverty, that's not real. There's nothing, unless you're selling drugs, unless you're doing something illegal and scamming, there's no such thing as fast money. That's not real. That's not true. That's not a thing. Again, unless you're doing something illegal. It's the only way. This shit takes time. Again, a doctor does not learn how to be a doctor in one day. You have to go to college. After college, you have to go to med school. Once you go to med school, you have to do internships, externships. You have to get your certificates. We're talking about 8 to 12 years of studying before you could even be a fucking surgeon, right? And same thing goes for a lawyer. Same thing goes for a rocket scientist. Anything, a scientist, a profession, a real career. It doesn't take you a year. It takes you at least 4 to 6 to 8 years, depending on what profession and how far you want to go with it, right? Like, that's something that a lot of people, because of social media, we tend to forget that there is no such thing as fast money. There's no such thing as I'm gonna do something now and I'm gonna be rich tomorrow. That does not work. That's not real. It's not real. You don't see that anywhere. With actors, with singers, like, they're skillful. They know what they're doing. Do some of them get lucky? Yes, of course. The same way there's a lot of traders who got lucky. But if you notice it, the artists and the actors who get lucky, okay, they do 1, 2, 3 movies, and then they don't have a lifespan of more than 5 to 10 years in the business. It's the same thing with traders. A lot of these traders, yeah, right now they're making a lot of money. Let's look at 2, 3, 4 years from now. Are they still in the industry? Right? Are they still traders? Did they lose all their money? And that's the reality of it, right? I I'm not a trader who's here to be, oh, I'm doing this in 2 years and I'm done in next year. Like, no. This is my career. This is my profession. This is what I want to do. 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 30 years from now, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is what I enjoy. This is what I like. That's why I take this serious. That's why you don't see me here bullshitting and just taking any positions and being impatient. Cause look, US 30 is 930 and we still wouldn't be in profit. We would still be in the middle. We would still be in break even. And again, we could go back and I could show you the proof, which is why I keep this on the screen. If you look at every single trade that I have taken on US 30 in the last 4 months, every single time we take a trade, we're in profit as soon as we get into it. Every single time. Every single time. Right? Every single time. Right? Again, same explanation for gold. I showed you guys gold yesterday. I show you guys US 30 today. Right? Same thing for gold. Right? Every single time we wait for our entry model, right? 30-minute engulfing candle retest, straight into profit. 5-minute engulfing candle retest, straight into profit. Right? Again, 30-minute engulfing candle retest, straight into profit every single time. So again, this isn't something that I learned yesterday and then now all of a sudden I start. No, this is years of learning how to trade. Remember, I started learning about trading in 2017, 2016. I was still in high school. I didn't really start taking it serious until 2020, 2021. Right? So again, I have almost 10 years of learning how to trade, realistically speaking. Again, if I don't count the years that I didn't take it serious because I wasn't doing it every single day, but I knew of trading, I started learning how to trade, then okay, yes, I have 8 to 9 years of experience. But if we only count the years where I really was doing this every single day, it was in 2021, 2022. So I really only have 3 to 4 years of trading experience. So again, it takes time. This isn't something that I learned yesterday and then today I'm telling you guys what I'm doing. The same thing that I'm doing today is the same thing that I've been doing since the first time I started looking at charts. So again, it's going to take time. This isn't something that you're going to learn in 2 months. Again, there's going to be things you're going to learn in 2 months. There's other things, chart vision, right? The more you look at the charts, the more experience you have, the more knowledge you have, the more you could see, right? Just like any other career, any other profession that you do. Somebody who started being a doctor 4 years ago, yeah, he might be efficient, he might know what he's doing, but if you compare it to a doctor that's been doing it for 20 years, how much faster can he do it? How much faster can he get to the solution? How much faster can he see the problem and get to the solution, right? How much faster can he give you your diagnosis? Because he's already seen it 100 times. He's already seen it 1,000,000 times compared to somebody who's only been doing it for 2 to 4 years, right? That person that's only been doing it for 4 years, he's still a rookie in the guy who's been doing it for 20 years. He's still a rookie. He's still learning, right? But that's the thing with trading. You're never a master in trading. You're always a student in the market. You're always going to be learning something new in the market. The day that you believe that you're the best trader and you know everything, that's going to be the day you start losing. So I would also be careful with that. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are not being sent often enough, which can cause buffering. Leave me alone. Are we good? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, you guys can still hear me. We're still good. Let me know if the stream pauses or something. I just got a notification here that I've never seen before. So yeah, guys, this again, trading is, again, everybody, you go to any stream right now and you ask them, is trading easy? They're gonna tell you trading is easy. Come join my course. Like, of course they're gonna tell you to go join their course. Of course they're gonna tell you it's easy. So you could go and join the course, spend $500, $200, and then a month from now you're gonna be a lot worse than what you were before you even joined the course. Because that's just the reality of it. This shit is not easy. Being a mechanic for a car is not easy. You gotta learn how to do that. If you don't know anything about cars, you can't change the oil because you don't even know where to start. You don't know how to open the fucking canister to change the oil, right? If you don't know how to change a tire, if you don't know how to change the tire of your car because you've never done it, it's not easy. That's something that you have to go and you gotta learn how to do it, right? Like, it is what it is. Again, if you never learned what 2 plus 2 is, right? If you never learned what 2 plus 2 is, if you ask a baby right now that just learned how to talk, what's 2 plus 2? He's not going to be able to tell you what 2 plus 2 is. But now at the age of 20, 25, 30, 40, if I ask you what 2 plus 2 is, you're going to be like, oh, it's 4, it's 4. Because you already know it's 4, because you studied it. You already know what it is, because how many times did you see that before? How many times did you study it? How many times did you go to math class and have to learn what 2 plus 2 was? It's the same thing in trading. It's the same thing across the board in anything that you do in life. In anything. When you started taking it serious, how long till you actually like, damn, it's easy? Honestly, last year was the first year where I was like, this is easy. So it really took me three years, about 3 years. We'll say, yeah, 3 years. 2021 to 2024 is 3 years. And again, in my situation, in my, I'll answer this question too. How long did it take me before I started making profits? It took me about 1.5 years. But again, my situation is completely different than a lot of other people's situation, and I'm very fortunate in the situation that I landed, right? On top of the fact that my uncle is the one that taught me, right? So it's a lot easier to learn information, especially when it's somebody that you trust and somebody that you know, right? But on top of that, besides that, because that's not even the first factor, because you could learn from anybody, I just had it a little bit easier. When I started learning how to trade, before I was doing trading, I was a professional, not professional, but I was competing in video games, and I was making money off of that. Not a professional, because I wasn't on a professional contract, but I was making money from the streams, from uploads, from sponsors, from tournament wins. I did it in college, so my college here in when I left my house here to go to college, I did that because I was a player in their team, on their esports team. So I didn't have a regular job. I didn't have to go into an office. I was at home all day, right? A lot of and also this was during COVID. This was when it was the pandemic. So all my classes were online. So I was at home all day. I would do my classes, I would stream, I would compete, I would practice with my team, and then I would get on the charts. When I decided to stop competing to focus on trading full time, literally for an entire year, for 12 to 16 hours a day, I was on my computer screen watching videos, doing the lessons, learning how to trade for 12 to 16 hours a day. So I had the time to be able to learn how to trade. And that is why it took me, that's why my process was a lot faster, was because I put in the time that I needed to learn, right? Again, you don't need to put in 12 to 16 hours a day. You don't need it to be profitable. If you only have an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours of your day to learn, and that's all you have, you could do that. But again, when it comes to me and my personality, when I like something, I'm doing that shit all day. I have a very addictive personality when it comes to work. When it comes to work, when it comes to doing what I like to do, a lot of people, it's obsession. I get obsessed by it. I wouldn't say addicted, but I have an obsession over it. And I'm doing it all day. From the time that I wake up to the time that I decide to go to sleep, I was on my charts all day, watching videos, taking notes. I have 5 journals, front and backwards, right? Front and back pages filled of notes of trading, right? My whiteboard that I still have up in my room right now, right in front of my monitors. I have one, two, three. I have three loose leaf papers of the market makers pattern, the different types of consolidation, the type 1, the type 2, the type 3 pattern, what they are, what time frame to look at it, the Asia session range from what time to what time. And on my whiteboard, I have, again, I have the type 1, the type 2, the type 3, and the uptrend, the downtrend. I have the bullish engulfing, the bearish engulfing, the bearish exhaustion candle, the bullish exhaustion candle. I have the market makers pattern drawn out on my whiteboard. So again, these are things that I see every single day, not only on the charts, but I see them drawn in front of me, how it looks every single day. So again, it's a different ball game, and that's what you have to do in order to learn this and understand it the way that E understands it, the way that I understand it. You have to have that type of obsession. Now, is it necessary to be successful? It's not necessary, but it is something that is going to help you speed the process of learning and understanding why you're taking a trade or why you're not taking a trade. So so right now we can see that price respected, right? Again, we can see how the market makers are still just trapping traders, right? So let's talk about the position, right? If we would have had, a clean break of structure, if we would have had clean structure, if we would have had clean direction and understanding of where price wants to go, right? This would be the position, right? As soon as we got the retest, right, stop loss would be, let's just put a generic stop loss right underneath the engulfing, and we're looking to take profits somewhere in this area. right? But again, in this situation, we're still trading between a bullish engulfing candle and a bearish engulfing candle. So again, you have buyers who got into a trade here, and you have sellers who got into a trade here, right? At this point, who's correct? Who's going to win the battle of the trades, right? You see what I'm saying? So again, in this type of situation, on days where I could see, on days where we could see that the market makers are giving both buyers and sellers confirmations, I stay away from the trade. And again, my confirmation as to where price is going to go, I'm no longer looking at the engulfing candles. Right now, what I'm looking for is structure in the 4-hour time frame. If price could give us that break of structure above the zone and then give us a pullback back into the engulfing candle that we had at the bottom, then I'll take the trade and then I'll go in to take profit. If price in 10 minutes does not give me that break of structure, I'm not looking to take a trade. I'm going to sit this one out and I'll wait for the next confirmation. So once again, I'm pretty much waiting for this 10-minute candle, or this 10-minute, I'm waiting for this 4-hour candle to close in 10 minutes, and then we'll see what price wants to do. Hold on, we got 7 minutes. I'll be right back, guys. If you guys have any questions, in the meantime, let me know. Again, what I'm waiting for here before I even consider taking a trade is going to be in the 4-hour time frame. So again, just if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I'll be right back. Alright, so we got 42 seconds. We'll see what price wants to do. Once again, we're gonna be looking for this break. Once we get this candle closure above the zone, I'm looking for a pullback. If price gives us this break and then just continues to fly, then it is what it is, right? We didn't get the entry, but we know the move happened. If we could get the break and if we could get the pullback, we'll get the entry off the pullback and then we'll go on from there. So 10 seconds. Let's see what price wants to do here. 10 seconds, we got the candle closure. Now 30-minute time frame, I'm gonna want to see price do the same thing it did for these last two 30-minute candles. I want to see price come back down, give me a pullback, give me a retest to then continue the push to the top side. Let's see what price wants to do here. Alright, so as we can see, price is starting to give a little bit more volume, right? So we might not get this opportunity to take this trade today, right? So it happens. Again, you're following your trading journal, right? Did this trade model for today, did this trade opportunity give you what's in your trading journal? If yes, then perfect. You should have taken the trade, right? In our instance, in our case, no. right? We had a few things that were following rules, but then there was two things that weren't following the rules that we have, which is again, price created a bearish engulfing candle, and we were stuck between the break of structure and the retest, right? So it's all good, it happens, right? Again, not every day is gonna be, not every day the market makers are gonna give you a crystal clear entry, right? They're gonna make it difficult some days, and that's okay, right? Again, we wait for our confirmations. We already know we have 2 days of rise. We already know that tomorrow we'll be looking for a third day push to the top side. So we know that we'll have another opportunity tomorrow. On top of US 30, we have what, 3 or 4 other pairs that look very similar that want to give us that third day push tomorrow. So again, it's just a game of being patient. Don't be greedy. Follow your rules. If you follow your rules, you're going to win. There's nothing more to that. There's nothing less to that. It's that simple. You have your rules, you know what works, you know what doesn't work. You guys saw how I give 2 examples and explanations for buyers and for sellers, right? And you guys see it happening live time, in live action. You're seeing it when the market is live. Everything that I'm talking about. What's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and why it's going to happen. You always have to have a reason as to why you take a trade and why you have a reason as to why you don't take a trade. The day that you don't have a reason is the day that you're going to be confused and you're not going to know what to do, right? And sometimes those days are the best days to just stay away from the market, right? See what happens, gain the confidence, and then try again the next day, and then try again the next day, and then try again the next day, right? So that's pretty much it for us today, guys. STP is almost hit. You know, we're only what, 13 pips away from STP being hit on US 30, so that's pretty much done for today. You know, again, there's really no other pairs left for the day. Everything else hit STP or ADR. During Asia session or London session, US 30 was the only pair that hasn't given us that move yet. Any questions before I leave? Any other things you guys want me to explain? Anything you guys want me to go over? Any other pairs you guys want me to look at really quick before I get off? Let me know. If not, I'll give you guys a minute and we'll be done for the day. We'll be back again tonight at 7 p.m. In exactly 9 hours. We'll be back here on the same channel. We'll be doing the isolation session. We'll talk about all the pairs. We'll talk about what we're going to be looking for tomorrow's trading session. Again, that's at 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys join the Discord. The link is in the description. You know, make sure you guys like the stream as well. We really appreciate it. Again, we'll be doing this every single day. Monday through Friday, we'll be doing the live trading session. Monday through Thursday, we'll be doing the isolation session at 7 p.m. And then on Sunday, we'll be doing the weekly market breakdown that we do every weekend. So, any questions, let me know. Anything at all. Any pairs you guys want me to go over. Anything you guys want me to explain. Anything at all, let me know. I'll give you guys a few more seconds. We'll give you till 2 hours and 40. I'll give you 40 seconds. Anything at all, let me know. Michael says all good. Alright, Michael, no worries, my brother. Thanks, no problem, my brother. No problem. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Made the day go by a lot faster, man. Alright, again, guys, remember we do free one-on-one sessions. Everything we do is free. If somebody messages you in the Discord saying that, oh, buy our course, we're from Vice Trading, it's fake, it's a scam. Do not fall for the scammers. We've had a lot of people who joined recently, you know, in the last couple months who got scammed for a few dollars. Please do not fall for these scams. Once again, everything we do is free in the Discord. Everything we do in these live streams are free. One-on-one sessions are free. The 3 live streams that we do daily are free. Talking to us is free. Do not get scammed. We do not charge. We will never trade for on your account. We'll never ask you for money to trade for you. We don't do none of that. We're not here to tell you guys when to enter and exit trades. We're here to teach you how to enter and how to exit trades. Right? So, we're not here to trade for you. We're here to teach you how to trade. So, once again, please do not fall for the scams. Make sure you guys join the Discord. Stay vigilant. Do not get faked out in real life the same way you won't get faked out in the charts. Alright, guys. Have a good rest of your day. We'll talk to you later. Peace out.